Thanks everyone for joining this workshop. Today's masterclass/workshop is by Sam. He is the co-founder, CTO of HyperLabs. And today's workshop is going to be, HyperDapps. It's going to be about building Web3 front ends in a very easy manner. So the idea behind doing this workshop is that most of you or most of us devs, builders who enter into the Web3 ecosystem are through either hackathons or some smaller buildathons or boot camps. But in order to build an end-to-end product in a bootcamp, it takes a really long time for you to set up both your front end, back end, your middleware, and then get everything going. This is where HyperDapp can come into picture, where you can build very sort of quick and seamless front ends so that you spend most of your time focusing on the blockchain part, on the decentralization part. How do you want that particular logic to kind of come together? So this is the primary reason that tools like this, dev tooling like this is being built. So it helps you expedite your process of building and also be able to build a proof of concept for yourself. This could even, I would say, you could even build this to an extent where if you want to go for fundraising and you don't just want a pitch deck, can you build a small proof of concept using a small front end and back end to show that everything works as it is expected to? If you are fairly new to the Phoenix Guild, a very quick introduction that I want to do. Phoenix Guild is a community where we are helping more women and non-binary folks get into Web3. What we do is we conduct masterclasses, workshops like this. We do boot camps and hacker houses so that you get the exposure to build together as a community, and then you can take these products and apply for grants or build your own fundraising pipeline, or just get jobs in the Web3 space by gaining these expertise. We have lots of amazing events coming up. We have our Bangalore Hacker House that is happening on the 3rd and 4th of September this weekend. So if you're in Bangalore and you want to register, just DM me on Telegram. I'm Gyan. And we also have a Lisbon Hacker House that we're setting up the weekend after, which is for NearCon, which is on the 11th of September. So we have a bunch of opportunities available for those who are interested in getting into the Web3 space. And of course, we have a lot of peers who are here to teach you, who are here to help you sort of get into the Web3 space from a community format. So I'm going to stop talking and I'll let Sam share his screen and take over the workshop for the day.
Yeah. Thank you everyone for joining. So I will also start with a small presentation about what is HyperDapp and how we came with the idea with my co-founder, with Karen, to build that. So HyperDapp is a tool for instantly creating and deploying frontends for dApps. So basically what we discover during our first experience, during the first product that we built with Karen, is that the tech stack, the current tech stack in Web3 is fragmented and complex, meaning that you have a lot of technologies that comes into place when you come from Web2 world. So even if you have a lot of knowledge and a lot of experience, so for instance, myself, I have 10 years of software engineering experience, and I had to learn like a complete new world of technology. So you need to understand what is a blockchain, what is a smart contract, how to deploy it to the blockchain, what is a transaction, why it costs gas fees, for instance, etc., etc. And so it slowed down. So the onboarding is really difficult, and it slowed down also the development. As you said at the beginning, if you want to build a quick prototype, or even for an hackathon in order to have a proof of concept for a specific product, so it slowed down the development, and it can be also costly because at some point, if you don't have the expertise in your team, you will have to hire someone that has the expertise. So from our user study and market study, what we asked to our users is that smart contract developers are not front-end developers, and usually they don't want to deal with front ends and developing the front ends. So usually in a team, you have front-end devs and smart contract devs. And also onboarding Web 2 developers is really difficult because of the steep learning curve of jumping into Web 3. So the solution is a browser tool, a browser-based dev tool, HyperDapp, which simplify a lot the tech stack because it abstracts all the Web3 logic. So we implemented code snippets and live previews in order to prototype, test, and debug really quick. And also at the end, when you deploy the piece of code that you write on the code editor, so it's going to be plugged to our interpreter engine, and then you will get a unique URL that is shareable or embeddable into any website through iframe. So it reduces development cost and also improves development speed. So let me jump to a quick demo to our product. So this is our dashboard. So let's connect our wallet. So this is all the previous application, like decentralized application, but the front end that I've deployed previously. So let's create a new one together. And for the purpose of this demo, we'll use a specific contract that is on testnet, on Ring-B. So here is the code editor. On the left side, you have the code editor, and on the right side, you have the live preview. So first of all, when you want to create a decentralized application within the front end, you want to interact with a smart contract that is on EVM chain. So here we're going to use the Ring-B testnet, and you first need a smart contract address. So for the purpose of this demo, I will use the wrap-if smart contract that is on Ring-B testnet. So let's just copy-paste the smart contract address, and let's give it a name and the contract address here. So
Sam,
the smart, yeah.
Sorry, could you copy paste the smart contract address on the chat as well for those who are doing along with you in the demo?
Yeah,
yeah.
Sure. So this is the smart contract address. And so once you copy paste it into this model, it will load the contract ABI directly on the code editor. So here you can see that I have access to all the functions from the smart contract. So I can remove the placeholders here. So this one, yeah, okay. So the ABI has been loaded, and now I can interact with any function from the smart contract. So for instance, if I want to see what is like the symbol, for instance, because it's a view function, I can directly call it from the smart contract. So for instance, the name, yeah, wrap-if. So for instance, here it's gonna display name wrap-if, but you can also adapt here and say, welcome to wrap-if, for instance, wrap-if, and you can also add another text here, smart contract. So now I can remove this placeholder, and great. So let's do something that is like more specific to the wrap-if smart contract, and let's interact with a payable method, the deposit one, in order to send Ethereum to the smart contract and receive wrap-if in exchange. So here, because this, okay, what's going on? 1 second. Yeah. So here, because this function requires, it's a payable method, so it requires some Ethereum to send to the smart contract. So it requires an input, and there is also a button in order for your end user to send the transaction. So here, the same thing, we can adapt it as we want and display something else like Ethereum and maybe like wrap for the button. So here we can test our smart contract by clicking on the button and entering a small amount of ETH. And as you can see, it's triggering the correct function. And I can click on confirm, and the transaction has been sent through the blockchain. And I can also like add some other stuff. For instance, there is the Oracle code snippet in order to interact with an external API. So for instance, if you want to display the current price of Ethereum, you can interact with your own API to display it. And those one are simply like input images and text. And we're also adding more code snippets currently in the future. And so now that I'm done with my decentralized application and my front end, I can publish it to the world. So when I'm in publish, so what we're currently doing is publishing this piece of code to IPFS, which is a decentralized storage. We are only supporting IPFS right now, but we are planning on supporting more decentralized storage in the future. So let's give it a name. So wrapif ring B, and some version and deploy. So now I'm getting my unique URL and I can click on it. And as you can see, it's displaying. So first of all, let's connect our MetaMask. And then it is displaying exactly what we built out together within HyperDapp code editor. I can also test it just to check that everything is working correctly. So yeah, I can send the transaction. Perfect. So now I can also take this URL and copy paste it here on the chat, and you can have access to it. So it's sharing among your users, among your end users. But if you have a Web2 website and you want to embed it into your own branded website, you can do it. So for instance, let's take the code sandbox example. So here I have a simple HTML web page. On my package JSON, I have nothing added, so no SDK, no libraries, nothing. And I can just copy paste my URL, save the file, and I have my decentralized application accessible from a simple HTML page. And we can test it. It's also interacting with MetaMask, and you can also send the transaction. So HyperDapp is really, really easy to use, really easy to deploy a front end for any smart contract that are on EVM chains. So currently we are supporting all the Ethereum chain, also all the testnet. So Ringb, Goerli, Kovan, but after the merge, it's not gonna be relevant. But anyway, we're supporting it. Polygon, Mumbai, Arbitrum, Avalanche, Phantom testnet as well. Binance. So we are supporting all those chains, and any smart contract that are living on EVM chain, we are supporting it. And also, if your smart contract is not verified on Etherscan, so here the smart contract is verified. So what we are doing is when you entered the smart contract address, we are fetching the API from Etherscan in order to load the API to the code editor. But if you don't have it verified on Etherscan, you can also copy paste it manually within the code editor. But there is a box that should be displayed, like if we are checking if the contractor isn't verified. So there is another box in order to copy paste it there. And that's it. So one more example. So this is one of the hackathon winner at ETH Global that we sponsored back in July. And as you can see, so they use HyperDapp in order to mint POAP, which is an interesting use case. But you can have more use case, and yeah, happy to answer to any question if you have.
So Sam, we have a couple of questions. Let me just go in order. I think one
It's in the chat.
Yeah, it's in the chat. Yeah, I think that one you answered. If it is only for Ethereum, you are supporting right now all the EVM chains, and other one is this developed using Novalis?
Yeah, so as I answered, so it's supporting multiple EVM chains, not only Ethereum, but EVM, like Ethereum virtual machine. We are not planning currently to add like Solana or other chains, maybe in the future. But right now it's only focusing on EVM. And is it developed using Moralis? So yes. And what we are planning to do maybe is to add some like easy way to use the Moralis API or Moralis SDK within the code editor in order to, for instance, interact with the NFT API to display all the NFT that the specific address is when the specific address is connected to your dapp. For instance, and like many more, like if you know already, so there are a lot of use cases, but if we add one API, we can add many more. So this is the plan.
Okay, thank you. If anybody else has any questions, please feel free to share them here, or you can also share on our Telegram group. I know that some of you who will be attending the upcoming Hacker House. So if you're planning to build something in a short span of time and you want to use the HyperDapp front end, I think it's going to be really quick. And you can also embed this into your existing, say, for example, since it's HTML embeddable, I think they can also embed in React and stuff, right? Just to have like the meta.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you can actually, you just need to use iframe. That's it. And yeah, Karen just remind me to show something. So for your end user, anyone that is interacting with your dapp can actually, because it's completely decentralized and we are deploying the piece of code to IPFS, like your users are able to click on this link, and then they will land on the underlying business logic and the underlying code that is responsible for generating the front end. And they will be able to see if the smart contract that they're interacting with is the correct one. And also, like when you click on a specific button, for instance, the wrap button, it's triggering the deposit action, and the deposit action is triggering the deposit function from the wrap if smart contract. So that way, like you can put your user in a safe place in order to be able to verify that they are actually interacting with the correct front end and not be so some kind of like hacky front end. And also something else. So here I have some other examples, but you can have access to our documentation and everything is in there. But here, for instance, you can also display different views if you want. So here is the same smart contract that I'm interacting with, is the wrap if smart contract. So there is the wrap and wrap, but for instance, when I'm wrapping if, so if it's successful, so it will display a message within the front end itself. So that way you can have like multiple views if something is successful, if not. So here, for instance, there it is successfully swapped. Click on new swap, and then you can go back to the main screen. What else? There is also, yeah, for fetching IPFS data. So here, for instance, I'm fetching, I'm using the Oracle code snippet in order to interact with this endpoint. And then from there, I will get all the data. I will extract all the data from IPFS, and I will be able to display the name, the description, and the image. So I think that we can check that here in the console. Yeah, so here is the results. As you can see, there is the result. This is the result from IPFS, and I'm displaying the description, the name, and the image. So basically for the image, you just need to use like image, really simple. So just have a look at our doc, and for sure, like if you have any more like question or feedback, bugs, you can also join our Discord. and everything is happening there. We were pretty active, and we can answer to any question on our Discord.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Sam. Are there any other questions, folks? I think it's pretty straightforward. It's also like just the amount of time in which this workshop got over. I think we can also understand how fast is it to build these front ends, right? We just built something very and interacted with a contract. I think the more complex contracts you interact with, maybe it's going to take a little bit more time, but definitely not as much time as setting up your own repository end to end and then managing that, etc. So that's great. If you have any questions as well, and then there are some use cases that Karen has been posting. So I'll share that with the community as well. I have noted down these links. And then as you're building something, if you have any questions, you can also reach out to the Discord of HyperDapp. If you can share that link as well, Karen, I think folks can join that Discord if you have a Discord invite link.
Yeah, Discord link. So actually, like if you go to our dapp, you can click on support, and yeah, or even like on our website. So it's hyperdapp.dev. And there is all our social media link. You can also have access to the dapp directly here, and also you can have a video, like some video for demoing, and all the chains that we are supporting currently.
Okay, that sounds great. I will also fetch that and put it here. Okay, awesome. I think if there are no other questions, then we are good to go. Is there anything else, Sam, that you want to share about HyperDapp or?
So we are actively working on the product. We're in the process of fundraising right now. So when we raise fund, I think that all the features that we're planning to develop will be developed like much more faster. But yeah, thank you so much for the opportunity that you gave us to do this workshop, and I'm more than excited to see what you're gonna build with HyperDapp.
Sure. Yeah. Thank you so much for your time. Thanks everyone for being able to join this workshop, and we'll keep you posted with the recording and everything, which will be uploaded.